welcome back to the channel. As you can see from the title, I want to talk about why I gotta turn that on. Sorry, one sec. I'll turn those off. Spending Dark Elixir because Dark Elixir is free. Yeah, I wanted to talk about why I wanted to start YouTube. Just kind of the reasoning behind that, why I want to do this. Cool, let's do that. Let me just set this up real quick, sorry. Okay. Yeah, YouTube, it's pretty cool. It's a platform where you can make whatever you want, and post it. That's pretty cool. I love Clash of Clans, and I've always kind of been like, it'd be cool to start a YouTube channel. But I've always been like, well, what would I start? What kind of YouTube channel would I do if I did start one? And so why not Clash of Clans? Because I like Clash of Clans and I like YouTube, so I put the two together and it just makes sense. What's kind of my goal, I guess, with this channel is something I can talk about. So recently, Clash of Clans had an update. Actually, I'm going to go with this. Clash of Clans recently had an update. Just trying not to die out here, sorry. Clash of Clans had an update recently. Pretty large change to the game in relation to some nerfs for some of the meta troops, as well as a nerf to the ranked system, and then a buff to some random things. So what does that mean? I guess that's kind of why. I guess what I'm getting at is, this is why I started this YouTube channel now, why not before now. So why now is kind of the question I want to answer with that. Is that so? Clash of Clans did this update. Clash of Clans last fall made a really big update to the game. They the rank update. It's completely rearranged or just changed the rank system. It used to just be there's one attack system, you go up, and depending on how you did in that, you can get trophies, so on and so forth. You probably know how it works. Well, Clash of Clans made a huge change to that. Made two systems. There's a ranked system and a battle system, and in ranks, your attacks give you trophies, and you go up in rank, and that's kind of like your prestige in the game. And in battle, it's pretty much what it's become known as is just like farming mode or loot mode. It's just to get loot. Practice a little bit. Most people don't run good bases in there, so it's not necessarily meant for practice, or it's not necessarily giving practice. I think that's part of the idea with it. But yeah, it was a really big step, and I was actually really impressed with the Clash of Clans team doing that. Let's see if anyone's on. Yeah, I was really impressed with the Clash of Clans team doing that. I thought it was really cool for them to take such a large step to just go all in and do something like that. I loved it. I think even on top of that, where were we at? On top of that, adding the battle modifiers, I thought was really cool because as an active player, I kind of have thought about going into esports or just like playing competitively in Clash. And so the competitive scene, they play in the esports mode, which used to be known as hard mode, now it's esports mode. And come on, Sam. Sorry. Anyway, used to be known as hard mode, esports mode now. Yeah. So that's like a big jump going from nothing into hard mode, and so I felt like having the battle mods on these top three ranks was really cool, and it was kind of a good way to get into a competitive scene. And so I really loved personally that they did that. I thought it was really cool. I was really impressed. I was really proud of them. Yeah, it was just all around like really big thumbs up from me, and it was a good way to like step in. I also thought it made the game more competitive. because you had to like really try to get 3 stars. Like 3 stars like meant something. Like 3 stars have always meant something. Like it's always like, oh yeah, I got a 3 star. That's good. But I just feel like they meant more. It was like, oh yeah, like I really pushed. I pushed and tried, and I got a 3 star. And it's like it's just like there was a lot more pride in getting a 3 star. I think in that, and I think that's good. I think that was really cool for the game. It was just a happy thing. It just felt like you accomplished more. And so I thought it was a really good step. Not only was it just a really big step, but I thought it was a really good step. And so I was really proud of the game developers. Ooh, nice. Oh my goodness. I was really proud of the game developers for taking that step, and so I thought it was cool. I think another thing that I thought was really cool about it was the fact that there was only the top 100,000 players were in Legend League, which again I thought was really cool because it made Legend League a lot more competitive than it used to be. Because now it's only top 100,000 to be in there. So if you're like in Legend League, it meant something. Like it meant you were the top 100,000. Because before Legend League had gotten to the point of it was the top 2 million roughly, and so it's just like, oh, I made it to the top 2 million. Like sure, like that's still I think like top 5% or something, but it's just like that's not as satisfying. Like, oh yeah, I'm in the top 2 million. Like that's not legendary. Like that's not Legend League. You know, there's nothing legendary about being in the top 2 million. Being in the top 100,000, I think was the right move because it's like it made Legend League feel like something more. Like it meant something to be in Legend League. Like you were a legendary player. So I also thought that was a really cool thing. So getting that Olvis, I've been a little bit scatterbrained. Clash of Clans. There we go. A lot of people were upset about it. A lot of people did not love it as much as I do, and they were verbal about that. On the Clash community, a lot of YouTubers, and I can, to some degree, I can see some of their complaints, but ultimately, I think most things they were saying were just not true, and it seemed a little bit uninformed. But so many YouTubers were saying these things that I think it kind of pushed Supercell into a place of like, oh well, you gotta give the people what they want, which makes sense. That's what you should do in a game. Like you should do what you should make a good game, and ultimately the game designers, like, they have their vision for it. But I think there's a level of like, if no one likes your game, no one's gonna play it. So I think there's a level of like, yeah, it makes sense that they give the people what they wanted, but I think it led to some unfortunate changes, namely Legend League, or the battle mods got a bunch of changes. They got nerfed a little bit, so they're not as hard, which has like been better for 3-star. But again, it's like now that jump from Legend League into esports mode is going to be harder, I think, because I think it was a more gradual step from nothing into Electro 32 into Electro 33 into Legend League, into esports mode, and now I think the jump from Legend League into esports mode is a little steep again, which is unfortunate because when you go into esports, it's like now it's a bigger step, and so it's a little bit harder to get into that. That's the goal. And so I think that's unfortunate that they did that. So that's the first thing that I was like, that's tough that they did that, because I think that where they had it was a really good spot. But they did that thing too, is they nerfed some troops that I don't think needed to be nerfed, and then they buffed some troops that definitely didn't need to be buffed. There were some troops that were like, they were practically already meta, and then they buffed them, which is so interesting. So now they're even more meta. So it was just like really weird that they did that. This go down. So it was just weird that they like nerfed troops that were or they buffed troops that were practically meta. Um, and so all this to say, I feel like my voice, and I feel like the voice of a lot of people, were not represented throughout all of this, and I feel like some of the creators use the names of their viewers incorrectly, and so and I'm not like necessarily upset at any of the creators. I just think that they use our names incorrectly, and so because of that, I I wish I had a voice in that. I wish I could have said, "Hey, this is actually how I feel, and I think this is the sentiment of a lot of players of the game." But because I don't have that voice, I don't have that reach, I don't have the ability to say that. And so, ooh, my queen. So part of my goal with creating a YouTube channel is so that I can create a large enough following, or just so that I can have a voice and it matters, and so that when there is big controversy with how some of the stuff in the game is going, I can voice my opinion as well, because I think it is a valuable opinion, and I think that I think I could add my opinion to those conversations, which I think is valuable, and I think I can kind of speak for the side of some of the smaller people, some of the smaller players of the game. So all that to be said, I've said that a lot of times. So yeah, I want my voice to be heard, and hopefully that also means representing some of the more casual players of the game. Even though I wouldn't consider myself a casual player, but I feel like I have a lot of friends who are casual players, and I can speak to them and how they feel. And it's not that any of the casual players like weren't asking for this, or like it's not that they were against these things. It's just that they weren't asking for it. And the way that the creators kind of portrayed it was like all of these casual players are like, oh, this is awful, and we want it this way. And I don't think that was the case. I think the casual players were kind of just like, it's fine. And the new stuff, I think they were like, it's fine. Like I don't think they were really affected by how it was, and I don't think they were really affected by how it is now. So it's just like, and I think it did affect the competitive players a lot. So it's just kind of upsetting. So I would like to have a voice in the game, and be able to give my piece. And I think the best way to do that is by creating a YouTube channel. I would like to get on the Supercell Creator Program. That's like definitely like the goal. That's the first goal, is to get in the Supercell Creator Program. So that way I can kind of like be in communication with the Supercell team. That gives me access to like the Supercell. They have like a creator Discord, so I can have access to that. I can speak directly with the people at Supercell. I can just give them my thoughts, and then also having a following is like, hey, I can be like, hey, I have these people that I know have these thoughts, and I want to share that too. And so it's kind of just, yeah, this whole thing is to be able to get my voice heard, to be able to speak up for those people who can't in the game, and kind of share those opinions, and just kind of give a different and a new side to Clash of Clans, to the Supercell team, because I feel like there's an unrepresented group in the Supercell community, in the Clash of Clans community right now, and so I want to represent that group. Yeah, and again, like I said at the start of this, like I thought what Supercell was doing was really cool. I thought that they were taking really good steps. I really liked where they were going with the game. I also I love Town Hall 18. Like the update they did, I think is really cool. Like getting rid of the Town Hall weapon, I think that's awesome. Like why not make something completely new? Like why not do that? You know, it's awesome. Let's like change the game. Like as well with the Town Hall 17 Inferno artillery. Like why not get rid of the Eagle? Like sure, the Eagle was like it was the first big defense, and so it was really cool. It's like, oh, this is this crazy defense that does so much damage, but it lived its course. And I do think that at Town Hall 16, the Eagle artillery was pretty. There was no that wasn't the first thing you were going to like. Town Halls 11 through 13 or 14, it was like, oh, you got to take the Eagle out first. But it got to the point where the scatter shots and the monolith were so powerful that. And I guess that was also when they added the merged defenses, and so I think those were just so much more powerful than the Eagle, that the Eagle artillery was kind of negligible. And so it's like, yeah, the Eagle artillery was a really big thing. It's like a really core thing to the game, but it ran its course. And it's again, it's like why not? Why not do something new? Why not like just completely change the game? And I think they did that really well. I think it's really cool they did that. So I think the Supercell team is doing a lot of cool things. I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm not trying to do this to like, yeah, I'm not saying they're perfect. I think there's times where they've done updates where I'm like, oh, it's tough. But this most recent frustration was more of the content creators. And I don't think Supercell really had a choice of like, do we do this update or not? Like, it was kind of like, this is what all the content creators are saying. And so if we want people to continue playing our game, we have to do this. And I don't think that was the right, I don't think that that is true, but that's what they were being told. And so it's kind of like they were pushed into a corner, um, which I think is tough. So I don't know, man. They have analytics and they have stuff behind the scenes that they can see, and so maybe they were seeing things that we didn't see that was proving what they said. But I just feel like in my own personal experiences and my personal relationships, that what the content creators were saying were not true. And I would say that like I'm pretty active. Like I mean, this clan is 42 people. I probably am active with like 15 to 20 of them. And then I have a second account in a different clan with some of my friends who are more casual players. And I'm close with probably, again, like 20 of those, 15 of those guys, I don't know. And so it's like, I feel like I do have a pretty good understanding of the community and of the casual players and what other people think. And so I just want to add that voice to the conversation and let people know like, hey, this is the side that I see. Um, yeah, thanks for my rant. Thanks for watching my videos or my attacks. I won 3 star, which is good, and then 2 above 90, which is pretty good. 3 stars would be preferable, but that's okay. Currently plus 80 and up 1 attack, so that's pretty exciting. With 2 attacks left, I could go. My max potential right now is to go plus 278 on the day, which would be really cool. That's a pretty good day. Yesterday was not good. Whoops. Yeah, that was a tough day. I did good at the start of the day, and then I just completely fell off at the end of the day. But yeah, so that's my rant. Thanks for listening. I know that was kind of a lot, but that's what I had to say. So yep, that's why I started YouTube. That's why I wanted to start YouTube, and that's why I decided to start it. That's why it ended up happening now. It's just in light of recent circumstances in the game. And yeah, so hopefully we get to that place. Hopefully we get to the point of being able to join the Supercell Creator Program and be able to add my voice to the community because, yeah, I feel like it's valuable. Thanks for watching.